Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the pool party. I hope you can swim because we're definitely diving into the deep end with a huge splash of truth, facts, evidence, information, and proof. Swim. Say what you mean. It's talk about talking. How we listen, how we hear, how we speak, how we hear what we're listening to when we speak, how a listener hears what we're saying, if what we're saying, what they're actually hearing and or understanding. Is it clear? Swim. Say what you mean. Well, that's just the beginning of understanding, because after we get that understanding, how do we accept it? How we respond if it's not what we expect is paramount. Are you okay with the truth? Are you man, woman, human, or spiritual enough to accept the truth? Let's find out. Welcome to The Swimming Pool with your host, Travis Bridges.
Hey everybody, and welcome to The Swimming Pool with your host, Travis Bridges. That would be moi. Here's hoping you're having a fantastic Wednesday evening, because guess what? I really am. It's been a wonderful week thus far, and I'm excited about everything that's going to happen for the rest of the week, the rest of the month, actually the rest of my life, because there's something that happens to you when you get a new mind. You know what a new mind is? A new mind is one of those things that you get when you've been through the storm and you've been tried by the fire. Well, no, not all that. But, sometimes you go through certain things and you find the other end of the tunnel. And when you get a little beam of light, it gives you some hope. And that's where I've been in the last few weeks anyway. And I'm grateful for that, because prior to that, it's been rough for me. So I'm grateful to be able to, as I would like to say, fall down 7 times and get up 8. Anyway, welcome to the swimming pool, SWYM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean. Are you saying what you mean? Are you meaning what you say? Don't lie, because it often happens. We will say something and mean something else, or we will actually say something and actually not even do what it is we say. Things happen. Things change. We change when things change. It's amazing. It's incredible. Not everybody is the same, and it requires discipline to be able to stick to your word, especially to yourself. It's hard, when you make a promise to someone else and then you can't deliver, and then you have to come up with something, in the form of a reason or an excuse. We've all been there. I'll be the first one to admit it. But we're supposed to do better when we know better. And as we age and get older and wiser, we're supposed to really notice the difference in where we were, from when we were an adolescent or younger. It says, when I was a child, I thought as a child, but when I became an adult or of age, I just put away childish things. Well, sometimes we have to put away childish things. Cool. Okay, Christine is in the house. Anthony Morrow is in the house. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I do have a guest tonight, and I'm going to take a short break. And when I come back, we've got about maybe 31 minutes of actual airtime that will be on. So that's a little later than normal. And it's kind of amazing, because I've been so consistent with, this new lifestyle I'm adopting with my nutrition and fitness. 7:30 or 8 o'clock, I am usually heading for the bed. So my Wednesday nights require a special effort for me to be committed and dedicated to show up here, because again, it's therapy for me. But I said I would do it whether I have one listener, 2 or 200,000. I believe that's going to eventually happen one day, because I believe I have something to say. I believe the concept that I build my platform on in regards to saying what you mean and meaning what you say, analyzing what you hear, making sure that we're on the same accord with someone. There's no reason for us to have chaos in situations. If you disagree with something, if something just doesn't work out for you with someone, you have to talk it through. You have to analyze it and be okay with what you discover. You're not going to always like how you feel. Feelings are secondary when it comes to principles, truth, and facts. And we have to be okay with that. I had to learn it. I'm still learning it, and it's not easy. So what I do know, I'm just trying to bring awareness to how we listen and what we do with the information we receive. But when I take a break, I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about consistency. Doing what we say we're going to do. It's never easy. Man, when you make a promise, and as I was saying last week, one of my preacher friends were talking about what separates us from our original creator is that, God will say something and actually do it and mean it. And his word, according to the Bible, says that the heaven and earth will pass away, but his word will stand. What would it be like if we were that way? Did what we say we were going to do, honored our word, and stood by it, even if everything around us crumbled. Man, that's some serious power. Anyway, I'm going to take a short break and I'll be right back. Please do me a favor. Hang in there. It's going to be a pretty good one, okay? So don't move. Be right back.
The Swimming Pool with Travis Bridges is a talk segment about talking. Talk about talking? Yes, talk about talking. It's designed to bring awareness to how we listen, how we hear, and what we do with the information we receive during communication. The mind is automatically programmed to protect the body and soul. It displays that through each and every encounter we experience. If any part of the body is threatened, the mind will automatically issue the flight command. The flight command to retreat to safety. Well, that same command is also deployed when our ego is threatened. The ego, yes, the ego. It's so natural and common, it happens oftentimes without us even knowing. Engaging in conversation and staying focused on what is present is considered mental fitness. It strengthens our emotions and helps us to gain control of our circumstances instead of having our circumstances overtake our thinking and our very existence. It's a difficult task to achieve because our feelings, beliefs, and desires are so strong that it causes us to totally disregard even the most common or basic reasoning. This live stream is only here to bring awareness to that subconscious process. Nothing or no one is actually wrong. However, the idea of being open to anything outside of what we've already concluded is golden, especially if the new information is transparent. The Swim developers would like to say thanks for supporting, watching, listening, and sharing this information. Now, back to the swimming pool. Let's dive in and swim. Mighty Horn Music. Smooth jazz, top 40, R&B, inspirationals, and more. Live from the Hollywood Home Studio. Like, share, subscribe. And thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, man, what's up?
How are you?
Not bad. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. We have a pretty good signal here. How you been?
Good. All is well. I got no complaints.
Good. Please wait till we hang up before you start complaining if you decide you're going to.
Yeah. That's it's no good. There's no good to complain because no one's really interested.
Yeah, warn me in advance, and then I'll call you back.
Okay.
Anyway, how you been overall?
Oh, everything is good, chugging along, carrying on,
Awesome.
living life, so all good.
Awesome. Well, I'm at that point again where I need to hear your voice. For my listeners, you are one of my big brothers / godfathers in the fitness industry, and you are one of the first trainers that I experienced whenever I really got serious with working out and exercises. Whenever you had the boot camp going, and I started, the class way back when at Muscle Beach boot camp. It was the original boot camp that I ever even heard of, and I haven't heard of anything of its kind. I've seen so many people try to duplicate what you started, and in my heart, I do believe many people picked up on what you were doing and really started to create their own version of it to where there's boot camps everywhere. But I just want everybody to know that as far as I know, the original beach boot camp started at Muscle Beach Gym on Hollywood Beach with Ali Witherspoon, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
So,
I get it.
with that being said, I remember those days, and it's just like anything else. When you start something that has a great and powerful impact on you, you don't forget it, and it stays in your mind, your heart, and your soul for forever. And all throughout my roller coaster ride of fitness with up and down, there's always been something in every workout, in every day that I hear, that I learned in your class and being there with those experiences. And it's amazing when you're going through those times, you don't know.
Hey, champ, you cut out.
Yeah, we're probably going to have this issue. I don't know how much you heard, but I'm just going to try to jump right back in. That's why I was trying to call you on the other platform, because of this issue I'm having. But anyway, we're going to try to keep going. What I was trying to say was, since then, there's not a day that goes by that I don't hear your voice in my head, or I think about something that I need to be doing in regards to my nutrition and fitness level that I learned from there. Of course, post, Hollywood Beach boot camp, I've had so many other people to pour into my life and so many other things that I've learned that I just kind of add to that, mix, and it just gets me to a place where I can even say right now that, I'm in a good place. Although I've fallen off the ladder many times, I've always been able to get back. And before I go any further, I'm going to say, since the last time we talked, I've fallen off that ladder a few times, but I'm on it so good now. And there's this thing that I like to say: when you fall down 7 times, you get up 8, and you're going to be okay. And I know you remember maybe 10 years or so ago when I lost 113 pounds, and I thought that I was on top of the world. I was so proud of myself. But since then, over the past 10 years, I've gained and lost about 40 to 70 pounds about 4 or 5 times. And before I let you speak, I'm going to let you go. I've since just before the first of the year, I was at a place where I was just really down. It was really bad. Life got to me. Another one of those times that I was, having excuses to not work out and eat right. And I was just at that place where I was just bad. But around the end of the year, moving into the first of the year, I decided on that 8th time to get up one more time. And since the first of the year, I'm going to say a few weeks before I was hit or miss, but right at the first of the year, like most people do, I got serious. And I am on day 53 now of a program called 75 Hard. We talked about that before on my program. But I'm down now just under about 26 pounds from when I say I'm serious. I've got a really good vice grip on it this time. And all of those times that I've fallen off the horse and got back on, I really believe, especially now at the age I am, it's like I don't have too many times to get back on the horse. And I've said it before, but you know how we say it when we're on the horse. I really mean it this time. I am in such a good place. And I want to talk to you about where I've come from and where I am, so that I can kind of get some professional and expert and even experience advice on where I am and how to continue moving forward. So I'll let you respond to everything I just said, and then I have some questions I want to ask you because I'm going to try to let you go inside of 30 minutes as I promised.
All right, so let me just recap. You want me to comment on everything you just said at this point?
Well, yeah, just whatever I just said, and then I'm going to ask some questions if you have a response to what I just said. But I do have some specific questions to ask you about where I am now.
I got you.
Okay.
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is, unfortunately, you are not abnormal. I've had plenty of clients over the years do the exact same thing that you have done. Lose, proud of themselves, in a good place, and then fall off the wagon, and then go the yo-yo way. Yo-yo 40, gain 70, lose 50, gain 80, etc.
Right.
Like I said, unfortunately, this is not a new tale.
Right.
And so it's, my only response to that is, once again, I guess it's, I would say, occupational hazard that I've heard this story literally hundreds of times.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that if you feel as though that you are on the right track this time, then all I can say is just keep doing what you're doing.
Awesome.
Because here's the thing with doing something one time. When you do something successfully one time, you have the mental imprint to do it again and again and again. So it's there. You have all the information. You have everything that you need. You have all the knowledge. Whatever it is that triggers you to fall off the wagon that's the objective now, because all the other stuff is just mechanical. Once you're in your groove, it's mechanical and perseverance.
Exactly.
But there's something that I would try to focus on if I were you that triggers you emotionally, behaviorally to slip back. That's the key. I'm gonna tell you a quick little story.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a couple minutes.
No, I'm on your time. I'm going to try to stay within my time, and when we're there, I'll let you know.
All right. So here's a story about exactly what you just said and exactly what I just said in response in the extreme category or the extreme version of it. I had a client. He was referral to me. This man was probably about 60 years old when he started. He was a successful businessman, had just sold his business for $20 million. And the company that bought his business was a public company, and his brother, who worked with him in the business, stayed on and took a position with that company. He retired. I trained him. When I started with him, he was 305 pounds. Mark was completely committed, having just, sold his business successfully. Now he had time. He trained with me 4 days a week. We trained for a year and a half. And after that time, he was down to 185 pounds.
Whew!
Now, here's the tipping point. Mark's brother, who worked in the company he sold, they were close. Mark would talk to him. Mark was getting information about the new public company, passing it on to his friends, his inner work network. Here, go buy this stock. Here, do this. Here, do this. And after he had lost all that weight, the SEC flew down to Aventura, Florida, knocked on his penthouse door, and told him, we need to have a chat. They sat him down. They said, here's the information, sir. We have enough evidence to put you away. So, because Mark, in his infinite wisdom, just passed on these little tidbits to his little inner circle, thinking, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? And unfortunately, that's called insider trading. So the SEC said you have two choices here. You either write the $5 million check right here, right now, or we go to court, you're going to go to prison, and it's going to be, they told him straight out, it's going to be a country club prison, but you're going to be there for 5 years. So he writes the $5 million check. The SEC says, thank you very much. Stop talking to your brother and your friends, and we'll get out of your hair. The very next day, he came and trained, told me the story, and that was the last time I saw him for another 3 years. He canceled training. He had just paid for a new package of 30 sessions, forfeited them all, walked away, no word. I know next time I saw him, he was 350 pounds 3 years later. Now, what was his trigger? I'll tell you what his trigger was. His trigger was the love of money. For you and I, or a regular person, we sell our company for $20 million, and we go do something stupid. The SEC catches us, and they say, write a $5 million check. We're going to say, oh, here, take the check. Boy, I was stupid. I just lost $5 million just like that, and go on with our happy life, keeping our mouth shut. This guy, even though he had another $15 million in the bank, lost it. Complete breakdown. And that was his trigger. You got to figure out your trigger.
Yeah. And on that note, I have done exactly that. I think I recall you telling me a variation of that story, and all I can do is just shake my head, and wherever he is right now, I just send good energy and positive energy that he will find that place that he once was so that he can get back, because I know what it's like to be at that place of success and feeling good about yourself. And you're right, those triggers will get us off track. And I'm going to say I know exactly what mine is, what it was. As a matter of fact, I have a book that's going to be out definitely this year that talks about some of the things that I learned about myself from childhood that, were centered around some traumas that I never dealt with. And I actually went to the mirror for a long time, and I figured out what those things were. And I'm right in the middle of it right now. And I don't even know how to say how amazing it is that you would be telling me this story, and I would be right on the end of understanding my triggers and what has caused me to go up and down, all my life, and what has me at a high peak place right now. And you're exactly right, 100% on point. When we can identify what those triggers are, we have a better chance of beating them, or at least facing them when they come, so that we don't let them get too far ahead. And I'm just going to say on that note, I know what my triggers are. I do have a better hand on it. I don't want to be too cocky right now because I've fallen so many times, but I feel really good about where I am. And I know it has to do with some of the most recent changes. First of all, the thing that actually triggered it to make me get going, which is another story. But then looking at my age and then becoming a grandfather, I'm like, man, you're not 25 anymore. You're not 35. You're not even 45. You're at that place of where going out and running 5 miles is something that if you can do right now, you need to keep doing it. And if you can go to the gym, and if you can walk without a limp, if you can fasten your pants without having your belly go too far, over it, you need to really get that under control. And I'm grateful. I'm going to knock on wood and thank God that I'm at a place of where I am in a place where I can still move, and I have an opportunity, because there are many people that are my age and even younger that can barely get off the couch, that are not in the position that I am, and would have to go back so much farther, than I am right now. So I'm grateful for that. I'm taking advantage of that. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and move on from that. We're covering the ground of knowing what the triggers are. I'm in a good place, and I think it's great that I'm going to get to hear your voice and your perspective on where I am right now. So first of all, my first question is just weight loss in general. For me to be down about just under 26.3 pounds in 53 days, what does that say about my progress? 26 pounds in 53 days. What does that say in general?
Well, it very simply says that you're on track, and that you're very serious about it, because 26 pounds or so over 53 days. I mean, that's an average of 2.1 or so a week. So anytime people start losing 2 pounds a week from a concerted effort, it's because they're in the red zone as far as they're burning exactly how that engine should be burning every day.
And I'm going to tell you something, this may help my audience and even myself. I remember when I did it the first time, I was much younger. And the first time around, when you do something that drastic, you don't see what's actually happening. When you're committed and you're focused, time just goes and then the weight falls off if you stay committed. I remember it happening and it seeming like it happened so fast that I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. I know what happens. And the reason I fell so many other times is because I thought, oh, it's going to be easy to do that again. And every time I tried, it was never easier. It was more difficult the older I got. And the more I thought, okay, I know what I can do. I can do this, that, or the other. And the same plan that works this year may not work the same. The principles will be the same, but your body changes, food changes, your energy changes, and you can't apply the exact same thing the exact same way and expect to get the exact same difference. That does apply, and I don't want to take that out of context. Principles are principles, and they work if you work them.
Right.
But I found out that it never was easy when I thought, oh no, I can do it. So right now, I respect the fact that I have done the right things the right way, and I'm not trying to lose it fast or quick and in a hurry, and I'm okay with making it more of a lifestyle.
I got about 5 minutes, brother.
Oh, okay. You talking to me or someone else?
Another 5 minutes left.
Oh,
I got about 5 minutes left.
Okay, fine. So here's my next question. Where is it? Okay, now I'm doing more running than I was. Let me look at my time. Okay, I see the time. I'm doing more running than I am lifting heavy. As you know, my son is a power lifter and he's a beast when it comes to heavy weight. I'm not trying to do that at all. I've been doing a lot of running. I'm doing 5 miles a day every day. It feels good. It's a struggle for me, but I force myself to do it. How am I hurting myself or helping myself? Did I lose you? Okay, real quick on that question. By doing more running, I am doing some light weights. I'm doing lots of push-ups and resistance with the resistance bands, but I'm not in the gym slamming plates around and lifting heavy. My question is, am I hurting or helping myself by doing more running than I am lifting crazy heavy?
Okay, well, there's 2 segments there. Are you able to run without any injury or problem?
Absolutely. It's a struggle mentally and physically, but I refuse to quit. So no, I am getting along. I'm doing it. I'm forcing myself, and it is painful, and I hate it, but it's working, and I'm forcing myself to do it. So no, I don't have any problems, and I'm doing it.
Okay, so then the running is fine. Okay, you have to just know, if there's limitations or if there's injury or pain, you may have to address that. But if you're able to, whether you're forcing yourself or enjoying it, run, then there's nothing wrong with that. Now, secondly, as far as lifting heavy or light or whatever, you always have to train for whatever your individual goal is.
I like that.
Don't train and just if you are trying to, first of all, I want to get something straight put out there. The gym is the last place people should go if they want to lose weight. I know that's contradictory, and I know it probably sounds counterintuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. Right. Swing the foot 1 set of 10, but it's a fact. It's true, and I'll tell you why. Because weight is lost and gained in the kitchen, period. There's no 2 ways about it.
Right.
Now, if you want to reshape your body, get stronger, have an additional tool to help you lose weight more efficiently, then you go to the gym and you keep the kitchen under control. Then you do both. Then you get it done twice as fast. But, so everyone has to understand what their goal is first. I tell people that want to train with me all the time, what's your main goal? I just want to lose weight. I said, well, you don't need to come in and lose weight. You lose weight in the kitchen. You give yourself a whole bunch of money.
Right.
But then they're like, oh, well, I think I need, you know, if they think they need, then we continue. Well, what's on the wall? But, you know, that's the thing. You have to understand why you're training. Your son is a power lifter, and that's why he's lifting heavy weight. If the normal person wants to get a little bit stronger and they go into the gym, they don't need to become a power lifter.
Right.
Okay, they can find multiple ways. I don't lift heavy myself any longer. I used to keep my rep range when I was training heavy between 4 and 6 reps. Okay, 4 and 6 reps of heavy stuff, then 6 to 8. Okay, then 8 to 10.
Got it.
My rep range now is 15 to 25.
I love it.
I go very high reps.
I love it.
Because I'm just trying to keep my body mobile, flexible, and going 3 pounds full circle, 25. So, you know, that's the answer to that. If you're a novice and you don't understand, you know, how to lift weights in what I'm describing, you know, powerlifting or high rep range or whatever, then you have to find someone to teach you.
Gotcha.
But
And I totally.
If you. Huh?
No. I was going to say, I totally get what you're saying. I do want to get this last comment in. That's not even a question, so I'll be doing most of the talking. But I get your point, and I with that being said, I'm on point with what it is I'm trying to do, because I'm doing a mixture of both, and I do have a goal, and I'm doing what I need to do to get there. So thank you for that. Here's what I just want to add, and I just want your, you know, quick response on it. Here's what I noticed different about the first time I did what I did to lose weight and all the roller coaster times. Somewhere in our minds, when we're watching these commercials and we're watching these people who have these transformations, in our mind, we say we can do it, and we say we're going to do it, and we mean it in our hearts, and we think we're going to do it. But the difference now between thinking, feeling, and just believing it and watching it is actually doing it. You have to get your humps out of the bed and off the couch, and you have to put the work in and actually do it. Wanting it, thinking it, believing it, and doing it in your mind is not the same thing as putting the effort, time, and energy into actually getting it done. And that's the difference. That's making the difference in my success and what I believe will get me to the goal that I have, you know, for the next, you know, few weeks here, is actually doing it, especially when I don't feel like doing it. So your comment on that, and then I'll let you go. And thank you in advance again for giving me this time.
Sure. Well, you know, that's what I've said over the years, literally thousands of times to people. I tell people, listen, the most important thing about whatever your goal is, getting stronger, getting bigger, faster, what's seen on the wall, is simply comes down to one word. It's not form. It's not, you know, the modality or the exercise you choose. You can choose gardening for all I care. Mm-hmm. The most important aspect is consistency. Yes. That is everything. That is paramount in weight training. And when I say consistency, I mean, if you set yourself up for 3 days a week, then it's 3 days a week. And if something comes up in your schedule and you lose a day, you lose a day. And you just go to the next week. You don't harp on, oh, I lost that day, and then the next week you lose 2 days, and then the next week you lose all 3 days, and then you start going backwards. It's just understanding the consistency will be those 3 days no matter what, and then if you're off here and there, then it is.
There you go.
5 pounds, full circle 25. And that's it.
There you go. Listen, man, I can't.
As far as
no, go ahead. As far as
the one point about the dieting, you know, I've done over 30 different bodybuilding competitions. There was never a time that I could use the same diet. Okay? There's always changes whenever you diet. Okay? It's your body, like you said, what a lot of people don't understand, your body literally, physiologically changes every 11 months. So if I dieted last year, there's going to be some difference in the diet I'm going to use this year. Like you said, the principles are the same, but the diet's not going to be the same.
Exactly.
Things change.
Yep. Listen, man, I want to say this. You have been an inspiration to me, and you're in my head in some capacity every single day. Thank you for giving me this time. You already know this. If you call me for anything, all you have to do is say what it is. I'm going to do it. I appreciate you. I respect you. And I just wanted you to know that. Thanks again for your time. I know you have to go. And I'll follow up with you in the next couple of days. I'll send you the link to this so you can check it out. But thank you again, man, and I'll be in touch.
All right. You got it, brother. See you.
Okay. Much respect. Well, there you have it. Another guest and another success. And I do want to say that I think this interview was right on point. I'm grateful for what he was able to share with me that was consistent with where I am. Some of the things he said resonated with where I am and what I'm doing. I'm grateful that I am up on that 8th time of falling 7 times. And I believe in my heart that although I've allowed those triggers to create, the downfalls in the past, I'm grateful and I thank God that I am at a place of where I can take control of that right now. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to go because I'm a little over even my time. I will say this. I don't care what you think, what you feel, or what you see on TV or what you see someone else doing. As he said, and as I proceeded to say, consistency, the difference in what I did then and even more so what I'm doing now is I am doing it every day consistently and I'm dedicated to it. And that's how you get results, by slowly chipping at it every day. So if by chance you want to change your body and you want to change your mind, you want to change anything, consistency is definitely the way. I'm grateful to God. I'm in a good place and I don't want to get to my success level and then look behind and then talk bad about other people who are not there. So that's not what I want to do, but I am in a good place right now. And I'm just going to say to anyone else, if you're not in that good place, find those triggers, beat those triggers, and remember that your dedication and your commitment and your consistency is how you're going to win in the fitness and nutrition world. And even in life, being consistent with whatever goal you set. And that doesn't mean going through the motion. When I get up in the morning and I set out to run 5 miles, I run 5 miles and I don't stop. And I've been doing it every day for a few weeks now. And my scale and my clothes is showing that. And I feel good about it. Sure, things can come up and, things do come up that will throw us off track and sometimes totally take us out. But at this point in time, I'm grateful for it, and I will encourage you, if you have a goal, regardless of what it is, because our situations are different, be consistent, okay? With that being said, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. In closing, I ask you to find someone you need to say I love you to, or find someone that you might need to work out with. Call them up, work out with them, say I love you to them. Don't just say it, but mean it. Okay? Till the next time. Good night. Love you very much. Bye.
SWYM. Swim. Say what you mean. As much as this information is designed to bring awareness to how we listen, hear, and process, it is also a form of therapy. The little person inside of all of us needs to be heard. As adults, even listening to ourselves is a form of healing, strengthening, and growth. It's okay to speak, talk, express yourself, and be heard, even if you're the only listener. If our testimony does anything at all for anyone else, that makes the continued effort worth the time. Get the words out. You'll feel better, and that's a promise. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
Sometimes it seems like all the good times are gone. But you got to keep on searching.
You got to keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. For example,
Take me standing right here today. I would not be here with you if I believed the things that people say. You got to keep on searching. Keep it on the cool side.
Keep on looking around.
Good night, y'all. Thank you.